last session, we have created a dynamic project information system incorporating the top 10 activity. In this session, we will target to create a powerful graphical representation. We will use a time performance and a cost performance as the data to create a graph which changes when the data changes and makes the representation very simple. So first we will get the basic data on the separate sheet. We need the project total time. We need the project elapsed time, that is the time which has been consumed. We will be requiring the project total cost and the project cost incurred, that is the actual cost. Now to get the total time, we can go to the schedule sheet, and the difference between the project end date and the project start date will give us the total duration of the project. So we will subtract both these cells. So you can see 62 is the number of days which is the project total time. Now the time elapsed will be equal to the project status date minus the project start date. So on the schedule sheet we have both of this data. So separating both the cells will give us the project time elapsed. Now to get the project total cost, in the schedule sheet we have added the two columns, that is the budgeted cost and the actual cost. But we have used the command to incorporate the lack word along with the value. But we require a value to create a graph. For that we will again add the sum of the budgeted cost and the actual cost. So our total cost 154 lakh is coming out to be the sum of budgeted cost of each individual activity. So you can do the sum of each individual budgeted cost, giving us the total value in the numerical form. Similarly, for the actuals, we'll get the data in the numerical form. Now we have the sufficient required input to create the graph. Now we require time performance value and the cost performance value. So we require only two data, how much the time has been consumed and how much the time is balanced, and the same we will represent on the graph. So the time elapsed will be the total time elapsed by the total time. So it is 23% of the time of the project which has been elapsed. So the balance time will be 100 minus 23 or 1 minus 23%. So we can say 23% time has been elapsed and the 77% time is balanced. Similarly, we will create the cost performance. So we can say the total cost which has been elapsed or the actual cost is equal to the cost incurred by total cost, that comes out to be 20%. So we can say the 20% cost has been consumed and the 80% cost is balanced. So now we have modified the data to create the graph. Now let us move to create a powerful representation of this time performance and the cost performance. This graph can be used in a various other ways also. So you can select a donut type of chart. Let us rename the chart title as time performance. Now the blue part represents the time which has been elapsed, which is 23%, and the red part represents the time which is balanced, which is 77%. Now the next step, you have to carefully observe. You have to select data. Now you have to select the data series and you have to edit it. Now data series name you can type as formatting, and the data series value need to be lot of ones, maybe between 12 to 15 in the bracket which is next to the P button on the keyboard. Now what this will do, this will break the donut into number of parts. Let's see how. So we have put the lot of numbers, that is one number in the series value. Now you can see that whole donut is break into that number of pieces. Now we will add one more series. Let it has our main data, and we will select the both the percentages in the time performance. Now you can see the blue part representing the time elapsed, red part representing the time balance. Now we will move to next step. We will select the inner circle and we will do some formatting on it. The first formatting will be to change the donut hole size. So you go to format data series and change the donut hole size to 28 to 32%. Now we will also change the color of the donut. Now you can select any of the color to fill the donut. Now let us select the blue color. It should not be very dark, otherwise data will not look that presentable. Neither it should be very light. Again, it will not be able to give the impact. It should be in between. So we have selected the blue color. Now we will move to one step further. Now we have to merge both the donut. For that we will go to select chart type and we will use data as the secondary axis. As soon as we do this, both the donut will overlap. So now the upper donut is the formatting donut and the below donut is the upper donut. Now we have to format it. Now the blue one represents the time elapsed, we want it to be dark, and the red which represents the time balance, we want it to be light in color. So the one which we want dark in color, we will select it. Now you have to select it very carefully. Only this particular blue area should be selected and we will use no fill. So since there is no fill, we can see the background donut which have the lot of shades, and the part which we want lighter in color, we will select the white fill, solid fill, then select a white color and then you do the transparency, increase the transparency. Now you can see the light color represents the balance time, the dark blue color represents the time elapsed, and we get the required graph. So as this 23% increases, the blue color will increase, the dark blue color will increase. Now we also want this 23 text to be represented in the center, so we'll add one more column, adjust the column width, we'll keep the formatting same as of the graph, so blue color and bold, and we will copy it and we will paste it as linked picture. This is also a powerful option in Excel. Now we will paste this picture at the center, and in this way we will get our graph. Now this is the desired output, giving a very presentable data that what is the time elapsed and how much time is balanced. And this is a dynamic. As we update the progress, we made the changes in the sheet, this graph will also change. Now we will put this graph on the management information sheet. Now before putting this graph, we need to create the sufficient space. So we will add one more row in the management information sheet, and we will increase the row height. Now once we increase the row height, we have to just paste the graph and do the formatting so it become more presentable. Now the first formatting you have to do is to change the background color to transparent, so that even if the graph is overlapped, it does not take away the essential information from the sheet. So for that you select the format chart area and then you select the no fill. Now as soon as you select the no fill, the background is now also visible. The another change that you can do is to change the location of the donut. So you select the entire donut and you can move it so that you maximize the use of the area. This sheet must have each area utilized to its full efficiency to represent some sort of data. So that's why we are doing the every kind of formatting that is possible here. Now we need the text, which is 23%. Similarly, we will copy it and we will paste it on the main sheet as the linked picture. So whenever we change the original value, this linked picture will also change. Now this is also a very important tool in the Excel. Now in this way we have got the desired output for the time performance. Now we will do the similar steps for the cost performance and we will understand each of its steps. Once you do it 2-3 times, it will become a lifetime skill for you to develop such sort of chart, and it will make the entire data representation to the next level. Now again you carefully observe that how we create a graph for cost performance. The same steps to be followed. For the first time it may be little tricky, but then it is very simple and you can create it in less than 1 minute. So select the donut, that is a step 1. The step 2 is to add 2 series. The one is the series to format and break the donut into number of pieces by putting the data value as number of ones in the bracket. So this way you create a series 1 so that the donut break into number of pieces. Now we have to add one more series which have the actual data. The 2 percentages whose sum is 100. So the blue part will represent the first percentage that it is elapsed, and the red part will represent the second percentage that is balance. Now you delete the unrequired information from the chart area. Now you will format the inner donut. The 2 formatting to be done. One is the donut whole size and the second formatting is the donut color. The whole size to be around 32% and the color to be used is not to be very dark, not to be very light. Now the third thing we need to do is to merge or overlap both the donuts with the formatting donut as the primary and the data donut as the secondary. So select the chart type and data donut, the series which have the data, as the secondary. Now the area which you want the dark, you will fill no color to it, so the background donut is visible to us. You have to carefully select only that area. Now to select the darker area which you want to represent on your graph, you select the no fill option for that, and the one which you want a lighter, you select the white fill option and do the transparency. Increase the transparency level so you will get the desired output. So only these 3-4 steps will result into the formation of this very informative, effective graph. In a very presentable way, we are now able to represent our cost performance, where darker part represent the cost actuals and the lighter part represent the cost balance. So similar type of graph we can create for lot of number of things for its easy representation. Now again you can do the same formatting and paste this on the main screen. Now once we paste the cost performance graph and do the required formatting, we will be completing the current session by incorporating both the graphs into the management information sheet. Now you can see how easy it is to understand and read the time performance and the cost performance. Now whenever you will make the changes in this sheet, suppose the status date has changed, that is time elapsed has changed, the graph will also change, making it very easy to understand. And whenever you will change the cost related data, the cost graph will change. So the changes has been made to the main screen. Again we have used the dynamic data, there is no static data. All the sheets are linked together so the user have the minimum entries to enter. In the next session, we will understand the more power of Excel to represent the data in the graphical format by representing the daily resource requirement, what is planned and utilized resources, and what is actual budget and the consumed till date. In the next session, we will make more powerful graph in the Excel.